We're breaking down the pure geometry behind those slick boxing angles. All right, first things first, you've got to stop trading shots in a straight line. It's really that simple. Think about scenario A. If you step straight backward, you are quite literally staying on your opponent's firing line. You're just absorbing damage. And if you step straight forward, you're walking right into their power. Stepping linearly keeps you squarely in danger. But look at scenario B. Elite fighters use sharp angles to slip offline. By doing this, they completely eliminate your offense while maximizing theirs, which sets them up to land a clean, devastating counter hook. So, how do we fix this straight line habit? Well, we're going to strip away all the complicated noise. Forget about those 20 different fancy ladder drills for a second. We're going to focus purely on finding the 45-degree and 90-degree geometric blind spots that sit just outside an opponent's guard. You really only need a few core movements to instantly create these angles, get out of the danger zone, and set up your counters. Okay, let's jump right into our first shape. Number 1, escaping the straight line with the outside T-pivot. The absolute biggest mistake I see beginner, and honestly even intermediate fighters make here is turning their upper body way too early, like before their feet even move. And what happens? You throw off your balance and you completely expose your chin. No good. So here's the exact geometric breakdown to fix that. Step 1 is this setup. Draw a physical line on the floor with tape or just use a seam in the gym mats. Place your lead foot directly on that line. Step 2 is the shift. Throw a jab, and as it retracts, drop your lead hip slightly, plant the ball of your lead foot, and violently push off your rear foot. Step 3 creates the shape. Swing that back leg 45 degrees behind you. By having that line on the floor, you can methodically execute this shift and physically see your feet form a perfect T-shape relative to your opponent's straight line axis. And this brings us to a crucial mental cue you've got to keep in your head. Plant, push, and pivot. Actually, let me add one more thing to that. Do not jump. If you jump, you lose your anchor. You need to keep your weight perfectly anchored at a 50-50 center of gravity. Why does this matter? Because the exact moment you complete that 45-degree pivot with perfect balance, you're perfectly loaded to immediately fire a rear cross straight to the body, all while your opponent is still punching at thin air. Moving on to concept number 2, escaping the ropes with the L-step escape. So when you get smothered and aggressively pushed backward towards the ropes, human instinct screams at you to push back or just walk straight backward. But that is exactly how you get trapped. It's a geometric trap. Instead, you need to draw an invisible shape on the mat. First, slide your rear foot backward about 1 step. As that foot plants, transfer 70% of your body weight right onto it. Then push off that rear foot and drag your lead foot laterally to the side to literally draw an L pattern. Finally, re-square your stance. Notice what happened? You didn't give up ground here. You completely changed the axis of the fight. Now here's a massive pro tip to make the L step incredibly effective. If you throw a throwaway jab right as you begin this L step, you blind their vision for a critical split second. Because they're aggressively pushing forward, they end up charging straight past you. It's the oldest magic trick in the book, right? Misdirection. In the blink of an eye, you've completely reversed the ring position, and suddenly they're the ones putting their own back against the wall. So we've covered escapes. Now for the attack. Number 3, offensive geometry, using the drop step side shift. We just talked about escapes and counters, but what about offensive entries? Well, the drop step side shift is engineered exactly for attacking the inside guard without catching a straight headshot on the way in. Most guys try to step sideways by shuffling, but shuffling is entirely too slow for high-level entries. Instead, you want to slip your head slightly off-center to the outside of their lead hand. Then, you literally drop your lead knee down toward the floor. This drastically shifts your center of gravity. Finally, you use that compressed energy to spring diagonally past their front foot. So the crucial takeaway here boils down to a super simple mathematical formula. Gravity plus a lateral push equals an instant angle. You're using gravity to pull you down and spring you forward rather than just relying on lateral muscle alone. This instantly cuts you deep into their flank. And from this brand new angle, you open up a massive target on their ribcage for a hook, completely disabling their straight punches because they have to realign their entire body just to face you again. All right, time to put all this into practice. Number 4, the lab, a 3-minute daily shadowboxing breakdown. Look, understanding the geometry conceptually means absolutely nothing if you don't have the muscle memory to execute it under pressure. Don't just practice these once and call it a day. You need to dedicate exactly 1 minute to each geometric drill sequentially during your warm-up. Round 1, spend a solid minute straight on the T-pivot, throwing that 1-2 combo and pivoting to land the counter. Round 2, spend a minute visualizing being backed against the ropes and hitting that L-step escape. Round 3, practice those explosive drop step inside entries. Do this consistently every day for 2 weeks, and I promise you, your sparring partners won't be able to figure out why you've suddenly become an absolute ghost in the ring. Mastering these angles is exactly what separates a stationary puncher from a true, mathematically sound fighter. It's all about moving smarter, not just faster. So I want to leave you with this question to think about. Which of these 3 geometric shapes are you going to incorporate into your training first?